And thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Wanted to talk about the government shutdown and the impacts to the VA. Now, wait a minute. I already know. I already get it. The VA's funded, right? We're getting our checks and healthcare's going. There's more to the VA than those two things. And I get it. Those are often the most important things to us as individual veterans out there. They just want to make sure our check shows up and that if I need to go to the doctor, I can. However, I want to paint this picture a little bit as we start to charter into kind of, unnavigated waters, if you will, and really outline a little bit of the couple more questions deep, right? Everything is always so surface. It's always so surface that it's, here's the shutdown. Here's a couple things impacted. Here's a couple things that aren't. You're still going to get your check and your medical care is still going. There's other things that are still happening, and I want to share it with you. So hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Every thumbs up, every minute watched really does help the channel, and I do appreciate your support very much. Now, with that, I'm going to go quick here and get to some of this meat that I have in my mind that I want to kind of share. I'm one of those types of people. I mean, if you knew me, like if we hung out, had a barbecue or whatever, and talked about business or ideas, I always think about 3 or 4 or 5 more kind of, well, if this, then that, and then if that, then this, a little bit deeper. So with that, just to give you a little peek into my mind on what I think about. Anyway, so I'm going to first start off with a couple of the positives, right? So the positives with this extended, well, there's no real, whatever, you get it. Positives for us, even though we're in this weird situation, is for the Department of Veterans Affairs, it is minutely, we'll say, impacted by a government shutdown. From the numbers that I could find and what I've said before is 97% of the Department of Veterans Affairs employees are still working. Meaning that only 3% are in this kind of a furlough type of a situation. If you take, and I don't even know what the numbers are anymore for VA, let's just assume that it's 450,000 employees. 3% is 13,500. 13,500 employees missing throughout the nation. Now, sure, there's going to be certain things impacted, of course, but there's also a lot of things that are not impacted. For 2 reasons. One, we have prior funding that was already put into place for a lot of our stuff. And the second piece is that there's still 97% of the employees there. All right, so let's, again, kind of on the message of the good things. And again, I want to rattle through it and then I'm going to get to the meat piece. So please hang on with me. All right, so not impacted. Again, VA medical centers, outpatient clinics, vet centers will be open as usual, providing all services. Veterans benefits will continue to be processed and delivered, including compensation, pension, education, and housing benefits, except for there's some issues with Chapter 35, and there's some definite issues at VR&E a little deeper in. But whatever, we're staying on the positive stuff. Burials will continue at VA national cemeteries. Applications for headstones, markers, and burial benefits processing will continue. The Board of Veterans Appeals, the BVA, will continue decisions on veterans cases. That's the Board of Veterans Appeals with veteran law judges. Some of the call centers will remain open. The primary call center, 800 My VA 411, the Veterans Crisis Line, which is 988, press 1. As well as the VA Benefits Hotline at 800-827-1000 will all be open. The National Cemetery Scheduling Office at 800-535-117 or 1117 will be available as well. Suicide prevention programs, homeless services, and caregiver support will continue. Okay, got it. The impacted things, and this is where I'm going. So please, I know it's been 4 minutes. Hang on. I just got to get through this last little piece here, and then I'm going to go over to the, I wonder what sort of impacts we're going to see here. All right, so impacted during the shutdown. This is directly from the VA, and they're talking about just kind of the VA and you know, what's here. And then I'm going to get to the, okay, well, what about, here's you, here's the VA, What about all this stuff over here that's not coming through? So we'll get there in a second. All right, so impacted during the shutdown, VA ceases providing transitional program assistance and career counseling. Call centers for GI Bill hotline and memorial products applicant assistance will be closed. VA benefit regional offices will be closed. Public affairs and unfunded outreach for veterans will cease, including social media, vet resource emails, and responses to press inquiries. No grounds maintenance. I hate this one. No grounds maintenance or placement of permanent headstones at VA cemeteries. Applications for pre-need burial at VA cemeteries will not be processed. No printing of new presidential memorial certificates, and no outreach to state, county, tribal, municipal, faith-based, and community-based partners by VA central office. All right, and that's all it is. That's what they say is impacted. Now, here's my question for you. I know we're 6 minutes in. Thank you for hanging on if you did. And here's what I want to go through. I want to go through this, and I want your thoughts on what sort of impacts this may have. The Department of Veterans Affairs works with many other government agencies, federal and state and county and all that stuff, but other federal government agencies. And I will tell you that some of these federal agencies are taking drastic furloughs and cuts and all that stuff through the shutdown. So let's just put that hat on for a minute. If the VA works with other government, and I'll go through the list of them, other government agencies that are truly impacted, what does that do with their relationship with the VA? I'm just curious. Let's go through it. So, the VA works with many other government agencies at the federal, state, and local levels to provide comprehensive services for veterans and their families. These partnerships are crucial for benefits. Crucial, they say. Crucial for benefits, health care, and other programs to include agencies such as, and let's go through the different agencies so I can get your thoughts. So they work with the Department of Defense. Collaborations include the VA DoD Healthcare Resource Sharing Program, which allows veterans to receive care at DoD medical facilities and vice versa. The two departments are coordinated on also coordinate on electronic health records, benefits delivery, and mental health initiatives for service members transitioning to service life or to civilian life. On the DoD side, is everything good? I don't know. I mean, maybe not for that. All right, let's go to the next one. Department, I'd love to get your thoughts. Anybody who has any additional information or just thoughts. All right, so Department of Health and Human Services. The VA and Health and Human Services cooperate to improve healthcare. Improving healthcare is a good thing, including through the Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services. This partnership involves sharing data to identify fraudulent, wasteful spending. During national health emergencies, the VA can also provide medical services to the general public in coordination with HHS and FEMA. Okay, so the first half, are there any impacts on that, right, for the efforts to improve healthcare and sharing that information and working together to do that? We're not in a national health emergency today, thank goodness. If we were, I mean, that would put a drain probably on the VA. All right, next one, Department of Housing and Urban Development. Okay, the two agencies, VA and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, jointly run the HUD-VASH program. For those that don't know, HUD-VASH is kind of like Section 8 housing that's specific to veterans. There's vouchers, and basically it's an offset for the rent. So if you rent a place for, let's just say that it's $2,000 a month, but on paper you qualify for $1,200. You can pay $1,200. You're going to pay $1,200, and then HUD-VASH will pick up the other $8. Right? It's kind of how that works. Anyway, which combines HUD-provided housing choice vouchers with supportive services and case management from the VA to help homeless veterans find and maintain permanent housing. There are any impacts there? Because that's going to impact the homeless population of veterans, right? Or at risk of becoming homeless. Next one is the Department of Labor. The VA partners with the Department of Labor, Veterans Employment and Training Services, VETS, to help veterans find meaningful employment through job training, resume services, and apprenticeship programs. This includes support for veterans with disabilities through the VA's Veterans Readiness and Employment Service, which is absolutely impacted. And so it's kind of a double whammy when you got the issues with DOL potentially as well. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist over here, but I would venture to say that making sure that veterans are achieving employment and ideally, suitable and gainful employment helps to prevent veteran homelessness. Just saying. So if you wanted to kind of tie those two together and go, you want to decrease homelessness or you want to slow the filling of the homeless bucket, well, let's make sure that our vets are working and let's utilize these programs. Well, these programs are kind of tied up at the moment. Next one, Social Security. There's more to go, folks. I got 5, 6 more bullet points. So next one is Social Security Administration. Social Security Administration and VA have a partnership to expedite disability claims for wounded warriors and other veterans who have disabilities. If you are not aware, and you are a veteran, and I don't remember off the top of my head, I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure that if you're a 100% rated veteran, you get expedited processing with the Social Security Administration if you're filing for SSDI, for example. They might have that open because it did say, and other veterans who have disabilities. So, I mean, maybe it's any percentage, I don't know, but it's something to look into. However, Social Security has, I don't remember what the number is, 15%-ish of their workforce is impacted by the shutdown. So who knows if those are the folks that are impacted. Next one, Department of Energy. Didn't know that there was a partnership, but I was fairly certain that there was going to be a bunch. The VA and the Department of Energy have partnered on research such as the COVID-19 Insights Partnership and on providing training for veterans interested in careers in the energy industry. The Small Business Administration. The Small Business Administration provides transitioning service members and veterans with training, mentorship, and resources for starting and running small businesses. Is it impacted? I don't know. I mean, I don't really follow all of these. It dawned on me because I used to be an accredited veteran service officer and I worked with government agencies, and there was so many different partnerships behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And I thought, you know what? I wonder what partnerships, other than the few that I could just guess or that I knew the VA had, how many other ones are there? And really, what sort of impacts are we going to see from a government shutdown perspective when we're talking about federal entities that partner with each other in this type of a situation? So again, we are the veterans, we are the end users, so we will see issues all around this. So next one here is Office of Personnel Management, the OPM. The OPM assists veterans with information on federal employment and retirement. Next one, Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. The FTC provides resources to help veterans and service members protect themselves from scams and deceptive practices. And again, I don't know if some of this stuff gets put on hold during a shutdown, but it would absolutely be impacting veterans, right? U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness. As a member of this council, the VA works to prevent and end veteran homelessness. Don't know if there's any impacts during the shutdown on that, but let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10. 10 different entities at the federal level that coordinate or collaborate or partner with or whatever with the VA for the benefit of veterans. My question is, how impacted are they to deliver their side of the coin, so to speak, of veteran services, right? Love to get your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.